Hello, and welcome. If this is your first time seeing me, then welcome aboard. If you guys are already in our mentorship program, then welcome back, I guess. This right here is actually a free training which is included here within our mentorship program and also available online for free. And what this basically is essentially just a blueprint, a step-by-step guide, a 5-step plan as to how anyone can get involved in the courier industry, get started, grow your business, run it, and really build it and maximize your earnings and maximize your income with your van or car. So that's basically what that is and what I'm going to run through here quickly with you guys today. We haven't got long on this, but I'm going to try and give you as much detail as I can here in this quick free training, just so you guys really understand what it takes, what you're going to need to do, and what the steps are involved to go out there and really make it happen. So a little bit of background about myself. Those of you that are already working with me probably know this story already, but for those of you that don't, my name's Tommy. I started and founded Tommy Courier Services over 3 years ago. Prior to that, I was working for a van delivery business for 2 years. And so I've got, half a decade of experience within this industry. I know what I'm talking about. I took my business from zero up to the point that we're at now, where we're doing multiple 6 figures every single year, multiple vans on the roads as and when we need. And, we make fairly good money doing so. So that's kind of a little bit about myself and how I sort of got started into this industry. But enough about me. Let's get into the 5-step plan here, your blueprint for success in the courier industry. So your 5-step plan, your first step and the most important step of them all is going to be getting set up. So what you're going to need for this, to get set up and get started in this industry, the first thing that you're going to need and that you're going to want to go out there and get is a vehicle. You could use the car that you're already driving. If you want to look for some part-time work, this is actually how I started, with part-time work in the evenings and weekends. I would use my car. But then when I really saw that there was a demand there and a lot of money that could be made, that's when I got my van and went full-time. So in terms of vans, we go in this in a lot of detail within our mentorship program. If you guys are already in there, you obviously have already seen this. But if you're looking to scale the business large and you really want to go big, then the larger vans are going to be better for you in the long term. However, I do believe that sometimes shorter vans, if you're looking for a little bit of work for yourself, can be better because the running costs are lower. So first thing you're going to need, obviously, is going to be that van. You're then going to need your insurances. There's a few insurances that you're going to need. These are going to be your public liability, your goods in transit, and your hire and reward insurances. Once you've got these, you're pretty much set up and ready to go. So you're going to have vehicle insurance, which is your hire and reward, your public liability, which is going to insure the public in case you cause any damage to anyone of the public. And then your goods in transit, that's basically going to cover any goods that you're carrying on board. So if you're carrying a laptop and it gets damaged, then you've got that insurance there to basically cover that and cover the cost of that. So once you've got that, you're pretty much ready to go. You've got your insurance, your van, you're ready to go. That's step 1 complete. Okay. Step 2 is now getting the work. Where do you get this work? So what I recommend to most people when they first get started and they want to go out there and get work, it takes a while to build your own customer database. So what we recommend always is that you actually start with what we call subcontractor work. So this is taking work off of larger companies, dealing with their customers for them, and then obviously they're going to take a margin on top and keep that for themselves. But then you get to keep whatever's left over. This is a great way to do it. There's multiple ways to find this work, but the reason I say this is so great is because it's fast, quick cash flow into your business that you can now take this money that you're making and reinvest that into your own customers, where you're going to make a lot more money. So that's kind of what I would recommend to start with. Then when you have been doing that for a while, you know exactly what you're doing and you want to go out there and build your own customer base, you can do that as well, and we can support you in doing so. Within our mentorship program, we have email templates, phone call templates, and we even have a subcontractor database. So if you just want subcontractor work, we've got a database there with a load of company names on there that you can take and contact to pretty much get work from day one. We know that these companies are looking for drivers, and as soon as you ring them, they're probably going to turn around and say, have you got insurance? Yes. Have you got a van? Yes. Okay, can you start Monday? It's that easy. So that's how you're going to get the work in initially with the subcontractor work. Once you go down the route of building your own customer base, that does get a little bit more tricky. So we can go into that at a later point. But in terms of getting your first sort of contract in, you kind of go down the subcontractor route, get some work that way, and really start to get some cash flow in from there. Step 3 of this 5-step plan is going to be running your business. So running your business, you have to remember that your brand is your reputation. So whenever you're going to a collection point or a delivery point, you always want to be polite, you always want to be dressed well, you always want to smile, greet the customer with a smile, maybe sometimes a handshake if you know them, and just really build a strong reputation for yourself. This is going to be key in running your business. Another thing you need to take into account as well is running your accounts. So you're going to need to know about VAT, any tax deductible items, your company structure, whether this be sole trader, limited company. You know, there's a lot of things here that you need to take into account. A good way to reduce, a little free tip here, a good way to reduce your fuel bill is actually get yourself a fuel card, because this way you're going to be able to pay less than what you would pay at pump price, and you only have to pay one amount every week. They total it up, and then the next week they'll invoice you for that amount. So in terms of running the business, that's what you're going to need to do. Keep an eye on your accounts, overdue invoices. You're going to have to learn how to invoice people, how to chase up customers, what to do if they don't pay, and so on and so forth. We go into a lot of detail in this in our mentorship program, but I'll just give you sort of the brief right there is, you know, them kind of things there. So step 4 of the 5-step plan right here is growing your business. So if you're looking to really expand and you really want to grow the business, the next thing you're going to need to do is what you did the first time round, you're going to need to do it again. Okay, so that will mean getting another van, getting some more drivers. We show you exactly where to find these drivers. Then you're going to need to know how to run your payroll, how to deal with their taxes and their national insurance. There's a lot that comes into growing the business. Alternatively, you can go down a separate route, and what this route is actually taking subcontractors on. So how you started initially, taking some subcontractors on. Once you've got your own customers, your own database, you can take on some subcontractors, give them some work, and, you know, split the profits with them. You could do 50-50, 80-20, depends on you and your setup, but that's another good way to scale the business and to really start to grow it. Once you've got your own customers, your own clientele, you can take on some other drivers, whether it be employed and you give them the van, or subcontracted and you just sub the work out to them because you have the customer. Step number 5 now of this 5-step blueprint is going to be called rinse and repeat. This is very, very easy, very, very simple. Them 4 steps that I've just covered, to expand and grow and continue from there, all you do is you rinse and repeat. So let's say you've got up to this point and you've now got 1 subcontractor driver and you want to grow the business even further, you rinse and repeat. You do it twice, you do it 3 times, you do it 4 times. And before you know it, you have 20, 25 subcontractor drivers and your business is doing, you know, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand a month. It's really that easy. If you know how to go out there and get the customers, there's a lot of money to be made here in this industry. Trust me, I know from myself firsthand how much money you can make in the transport industry in the UK. So that's kind of our 5-step plan here. That's the blueprint that we're going to get you to follow. How are we going to get you to follow it? Well, you can either go out there and try it yourself. We've had a lot of people that have tried to do it themselves and they come back to us and they say, you know, I wish I would have taken your advice from the beginning. So you could either try and do it yourself, or you could follow our step-by-step guide, our mentorship program, where we're going to give you customer databases. We're going to give you email and phone call templates so you know exactly how to reach out to your customers. We're going to give you an A to Z guide, videos just like this. We have hours and hours of pre-recorded videos explaining everything in regards to pricing, in regards to how to find your own customers, how to get the subcontractor work, what van is best, how to reduce your tax bill, everything that you're going to need. We have hours and hours of videos there. You also get one-on-one mentorship with myself. So you'll be working with me directly. And I'll be your personal mentor for as long as you need. Any questions you've got, any extra help, any support you need, you've got me there on hand. And then on top of all of this, we also do trainings. So Zoom trainings, multiple times every month. And on top of this as well, you also have our driver support group where you can network with other drivers, meet other drivers who are looking for work or who are looking for drivers. And you can also network with these guys, ask for any extra support, build your industry contacts, and really just get a lot of a more rounded overview of the industry as to how it works and how you can get involved by speaking to these guys, working with them, and asking any questions. So that's what we offer in our mentorship program. If you guys want to get involved and you want to get started with that, then somewhere down below here, there'll be a button that says click to the next bit. Click there and go and get started today. I look forward to working with you guys very soon.